Okay, part 2 of my lawn equipment startups. So now, the Echo equipments. I know I've got y'all waiting for quite some time, but ever since I did the startups on the lawnmowers, just after that, weather hasn't really been that great. It started getting cold again. And so now today is President's Day. It is currently 76 degrees here in North Texas. So I thought we'll get all the Echo equipment out and running for the first time this year. They've all been sitting for several months, only except for these two right here, the Echo PB251 and the CS400 chainsaw, because they were just used recently. Of course, I've been using the chainsaw on cutting down the maple tree in our front yard, so it was just used about a couple weeks ago. But everything else has just been sitting for a long time. Some of them have sat probably since either October or November. And so I guess that without further ado, we'll see how they start. So I'm going to start out with the oldest ones, then end with the newest one. So let's start out with the Echo PB400E backpack blower. So this is my dad's old backpack blower. There it is right there. That's the serial number. Definitely a nice old blower. So we'll see how it starts. Switches on. Choke. Unfortunately, there's no primer on it, so every time whenever I pull over the engine, gas will start pumping into the carburetor. So it'll take probably multiple pulls to get it going. Alright, we'll see how it starts. Oh wow, it popped. Try choke again. Well, okay, it started up a lot easier than I thought. Kind of let it idle for a little bit before I start giving it some throttle. Alright, cool. Alright, so next one. Next one, Echo SRM 2201. So this is my dad's old trimmer that he bought in either 1989 or 1990. Used this trimmer commercially for a couple of years, and it's definitely held up really good for all these years. But even though the compression is not the best, but it still does run. Let's see how it starts. And the switch is already in the on position. Put it on choke and give it some primes. how it starts. Cool. Oh wow, running excellent. Alright, so next one. Next one is the Mantis Tiller. So I assume that it's probably from the mid to late 90s. So it has a 21.2 cc Echo engine. We'll see how this one starts. Don't know how well it'll start, but it's set the longest out of all the other equipments. There we go. All right. All right, we'll see how this one starts. Oh, wow. Sounds like I need to do some adjustments on the carburetor on this one. Here. I sometimes have to use a stick on this because every now and then this thing, it shocks me whenever I shut it off. Alright, next. The next one is my dad's other trimmer. This is a Echo SRM 2400 SB. My dad bought this in the fall of 2002 just to replace this one here because I think there was at one point he couldn't get it started anymore, so he bought that one. Let me get my tripod over here. This has definitely been a good trimmer. My dad's had it for over 15 years. It's been an excellent trimmer. See how it starts. The switch is already on. Choke. And we'll give it some primes. All right. Cool. Yep, still runs excellent for all these years. Next one. Next one is my 2009 Echo PB251 handheld leaf blower. I've had this blower for almost 9 years. This has probably been a very reliable leaf blower throughout all these years. There's never been a time that this blower has ever failed. We'll see how it starts. Switches on, choke, give it some primes. And this one should start up with no problem because it was used recently. And just as I predicted, started right up just because it was just used recently. Definitely a good blower. I am thinking about getting the all-new PB2520, which is Echo's newest handheld blower. It's supposedly it's their lightest one, if not their most powerful one. So yeah. All right, next. Next one is a 2010 Echo HC 150 hedge trimmer. I've had this hedge trimmer for almost 8 years. Definitely a good one. Unfortunately, this one is no longer made, been replaced by the HC 152. Just has a much more different look to it. But it still does have the same width of blade. Let me get the tripod. This has definitely been a good hedge trimmer all these years. The only thing that's actually failed on it was the carburetor. We'll see how it starts. Switch on, choke, and I'll give it some primes. Okay. Alright, that should work. We'll see how it starts. Oh wow, that's amazing. I probably hadn't used this thing since late spring of last year. Huh. Oh, I don't know why I did that. Cool. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. I accidentally turned it off. That's why I was taking multiple pulls. But anyhow. Alright, next one. Next one is a 2010 Echo SRM 225. Another reliable tool in my collection. I've never had any issues with it at all. Echo still makes this trimmer, just except there's just been little minor changes to it, like the whole throttle handle and also the front loop handle. They're obviously a much different design now, but everything else is the same, only except for the cutting heads on them. The ones now, they use the speed feed head. This one has the U-turn head. But other than that, it's pretty much the same Tremor since it came out in 2009. We'll see how it starts. All right, let's see how it starts. There we go. Oh. There we go, got her going. A little bit hard starting. And this unit has the I30 Recoil Starter, which means it's spring assist. It requires less effort to pull the engine over. Makes it much easier to pull over. You don't have to give it any jerky pulls. Just give it a slight pull. I can demonstrate that right now. I'll let y'all see that one more time. And as y'all saw, that was just not too much of a pull. I wasn't really jerking on it that much. So, yeah. Next one. Next one, a 2011 Echo PAS 230. Now this obviously has a bit more power than the SRM 225. The SRM 225 has a 21.2cc engine. This one, well, I don't know if y'all can see it that well. It's 22.8 cc's. We'll see how it starts. Turn it on, choke, give it some primes. This has definitely been a great machine throughout all these years. And another reliable one, just except it's only failed once, and it was the carburetor. But other than that, it's been a really good power equipment. I can't say it's a Tremor, but it's actually just a power head because you can switch out different attachments. Alright, let's see how it starts. Oh, I think it fired. Oh, nice. That was very easy. I probably hadn't used this Tremor probably since November of 2017. On this Tremor, I'm running the Echo Black Diamond string. That's why it's black. And it's kind of a helix shape. How it's all twisted. That helps reduce the noise of the string. I've been using the string now for about a year, and I'm actually pretty impressed with it. Yep, definitely a good machine. Okay, next one. Next one. This is a 2011 Echo PB 500T backpack blower. And that's the noise level there, 70 decibels. This is powered by a 50.8 cc engine. Yeah, my GoPro's really not focusing on that real well. Anyways, unfortunately, this blower is no longer made. It's been discontinued in favor of the PB 580, which is what I have over there. Let's see how it starts. Okay, it's already on, it's on choke, and the primer is underneath the carburetor. Just give it some pushes. Okay, we'll see how it starts. Probably hadn't used it since either October or November of last year. Alright, that should be good. Cool. Definitely a great backpack blower since I've had it for several years. Just the only issue that I've had with it was one of the straps actually broke off, and I just replaced them with 2 brand new ones. Other than that, this has been a very reliable blower. Cool. Alright, next one. Next one is a 2012 Echo CS400 chainsaw. So I've had this saw now for about 5.5 years. It's definitely been a great saw. It's definitely a really good saw to have for a homeowner. It has an 18-inch bar on it. It is powered by and I don't think my GoPro will be able to pick it up, 40.2 cc engine. And I just installed a brand new chain on it because my original chain was obviously just wore out, especially with doing all that cutting on the maple tree out front. It definitely just wore out that chain. So we'll see how this thing starts. It was just running about maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. Okay, switches on, choke, and we'll give it some primes. Alright, chain brake on. I always like to put the brake on whenever I do start it. Okay, let's get the tripod. Alright, see how it starts. Yep, definitely a good saw. And as you can see there, when I revved it, some bar oil kind of spewed out there, which is definitely what you want. Just so that way ensures that your bar and chain is getting its proper lubrication. Because if it's not, then that would mean you would have some problems. Either your bar is very dirty or your oil pump has gone bad. So, cool. And no need to start this one because it's battery powered. So this is my 2015 Echo 58 volt lithium ion battery string trimmer. This is one of Echo's battery powered equipments. So this is it right here. I've had this for almost 3 years. It's been an excellent trimmer. Gives you about as much power as a gas trimmer. Gives you probably about the same amount of runtime too as a gas trimmer. But it's been a good one. Alright, and finally, the last one out of the bunch. This is a 2015 Echo PB580T backpack blower. It's also 70 decibels, just like the PB500T, but to me I think this one is much quieter than the PB500T. This one is powered by a 58.2cc engine, a little bit more power than the PB500T. So this blower is obviously the replacement of the older PB500. It's got a much different handle here, has a much longer trigger, makes it more comfortable to use, which I think now Echo has now used these handles now on the PB770s. And this blower also shares the same pads and of course the backrest, just like the PB770. It's very comfortable, especially using it in a very hot day, because when you have this thing running at full throttle, you could feel a little bit of air blowing right on your back. Makes it pretty comfortable to use, usually on a hot summer day, since summers are always really hot here in Texas. Alright, so we'll see how this one starts. Turn it on, choke, and once again the primer bulb is underneath the carburetor, so we'll give it some primes. Alright. Oh wow, that's amazing. Man, that started up a lot easier than I thought. I think this blower hadn't been used probably since either late November or early December. Alright, cool. So now all the lawn equipments are ready for spring of 2018. So now we just gotta wait for this grass to grow. All these little yellow pellets that you see in the yard, that is some corn gluten. I actually spread it out last week, which is what's in this bag right here. It's just to help reduce the amount of weeds in the yard, especially hopefully if it'll cut back the amount of stickers that we have, which are commonly called grass burrs. And yeah. So that's it for the startups on the Echo equipments for 2018. So hope y'all enjoyed the video. So probably in about a month from now, hopefully if this grass will be grown a little bit and I can do the first lawn cutting video. And as you can actually see, our cannas are coming back. There's one right there. There's a couple more right here. Alright, so I hope y'all enjoyed this video. And so, thanks for watching.